1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
It's the 10 crack commandments. Why?
Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Donovan Muldrow, and you guys are watching my bench video for getting ready for USPA Raw Drug Tested Nationals in Charleston, West Virginia. That's going to be the weekend of June 24th of this year, 2018. So Tuesday was my squat video. Today's my bench. Tomorrow is deadlift. So I work out. I basically train 3 days a week. That's just what works best for my body, and I'll talk later in this video about training programs and regiments and stuff like that. But to give you guys a bit of background with regards to my powerlifting career, I started powerlifting in 2010. 2010, I had my first taste of some might call it the iron bug, right? So I podiumed that meet. I think I got second in the 198 weight class, and from that point on, I knew that I had a talent for the sport. So it was 198, which was kind of a fluke. I think I weighed in at 188. So I've always been a tweener, right? So I've always been between 181 and 198. So there were some coaches that, told me, hey, I might do better at 181. And so for a few years, that's what I did. And I had some really great success. So being in the 100% Raw Federation in those days, like I said, I got second place in that meet at 198, and then after that, I just continued to compete in my age group, which was in the mid 20s. I was like 23, 24 at that time. But I was, getting first in a lot of small meets, and then I competed in 2011 for the 100% Raw National Championship, and I got first place in that, and that was huge because that was a big group of people. I think it was about 18 competitors, so that really gave me a huge ego boost. Came back the next year, 2012, won that national championship again, and then things just took off in 2013. So actually in 2012 I won my first national championship, not 2011. In 2013 I won my second national championship, and then I just took a gamble and went ahead and competed at Worlds, and sure enough I won Worlds at in the 181 class in Vegas. So that was probably, to be honest, the best year I've ever had. It was my first time winning Worlds. It was my second year in a row winning Nationals. It was my first time in Vegas, like ever. And so that was a really awesome experience. That same year, I was in top Powerlifting Watch Top 50, and I think I made like 37 or 38 on that list, and obviously it still holds. So so it was kind of nice to see I wasn't knocked off of that list, even though the meet was in October. So there was an opportunity for me to not be on that list, but it's really kind of cool to go back and see that. So for me, being as a competitor, I continued and just kept going. All the programming for the last couple of years have been on my own, so which has really been a nice experience, not only for myself, but being able to program and coach others, because it's been rough these last few years. I'm 31 years old now, and I don't recover as much as I used to, but I'll tell you what, I am like 100 times healthier, 100 times better than what I was, when I competed at nationals and at worlds. even at a lighter weight, you know. So a couple years back, I sustained a really bad back injury, sciatica pain, you know, down my leg, all the way down to my foot, my right leg. And so, you know, I took some time off, obviously, to recover from that. I had tremendous pain, but I had a lot of help too. I knew that I needed help. And so, you know, I had my own team of massage therapists, physical therapists, and a chiropractor. And with the help of everyone and their expertise and just time and patience, I was able to get myself back onto the platform. Last year was my first time getting back on the platform. I competed in Indianapolis back in March 2017, and I pulled, you know, 600 off the floor. I've done it many times before in other meets, but I really haven't in um, the meets before then. But being able to do that and do my own programming, you know, that was really gratifying. So I knew that I was on to something. Fast forward to October of last year, and I had the highest meet total that I've ever had in my entire life. Highest squat, highest bench, highest deadlift. I pulled 611, which is an all-time PR. Every deadlift before then was just under, you know, 605 or something like that. So, um, in that meet, I got 622 to my knees, which is crazy to me. So, that gave me um, a lot of hope and um, just momentum going into USPA Raw Nationals, drug tested Raw Nationals in June. So, but as far as programming goes, I kind of do a version of the RPE scale. So, you know, if you're not familiar, the RPE scale is it's like saying, hey, on your workout intensity from 1 to 10, 1 being low, 10 being the highest, you know, where are you at, right? So each day you come in with a goal of your training to be an RPE of 8 or 6 or 7 or whatever it may be. So I do a version of that, you know, in my head. I don't necessarily write it down, but today in bench, which is, you know, what this video is, I actually use a version of Q Predator, okay, by Brandon Lilly. It's honestly the best bench program for me. I've got my bench up to 350 in the gym. On the platform, I've done as much as 330, and I honestly had more in the tank, which was the idea. I had specific numbers, specific goals, and I wanted to accomplish those. Um, Deadlift didn't quite get there, but I hit the exact numbers I wanted on squat, which is a grinder, and I hit the exact numbers I wanted on bench, which, you know, like I said, I could have done more. So for me on bench press, using a version of Q Predator is something I'm going to stick with, but you know, with this sort of RPE style of kind of go by feel, really has done wonders. And you know, every day is different, every week is different, and so you know, I'm just gonna keep going with that. So video is about to end. You know, hopefully you guys got to know me a little bit better. Tomorrow's going to be deadlift, and hope to see you guys tomorrow.